welcome to you and my other vice chair, Senator Representative Farley. So Representative Farley, thank you for joining us. I assume you're at the LOB, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. Yes, we have a good, I think, mix of hybrid and in-person participation. So I think this is going well so far. So I will next recognize our great ranking members, and we're fortunate to have the same core leadership team back from last session, which includes our ranking House member, Representative Tom Delnicki, representing the 14th District of the lovely town of South Windsor.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman Doucette. And there's something great about seeing people here in the committee room. The fact that we can actually have real people in person, able to testify, able to present their issues, and that is refreshing. It's almost a return to normal. Yes, we have hybrid, but the more folks that we can have here, the better. To be able to read the temperature in the room, to look them in the eye, and to really get an honest feeling about what is the concern and how can we help. And that's the key. The good chair talked about the leadership team and the core team and how it stayed the same. And I think that speaks solidly for what we can get done, what we can accomplish, and how this can be an extremely productive session. So I'm looking forward to our first meeting. I'm looking forward to discussing issues, and I'm looking forward to hearing from the people. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Delnicki. Next, we'll go back to Zoom, I believe, and our good ranking member on the Senate side, Senator Eric Berthel.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. I'll echo the sentiments that have already been shared with respect to folks who are coming back to the committee. It's good to see familiar faces. Jason, I would argue that this is one of the best committees in the building. I think they're all important, but historically, and I believe this is my fifth term on this committee. I've been here since I've started in the legislature from when I was in the House, but this committee always does really good work. And as Senator Miller spoke to a moment ago, we have the high responsibility of bringing good financial services in cooperation with our financial institutions to all the people of Connecticut and providing access. It is unfathomable that we still have these so-called banking deserts here, just a block or two away from the Capitol building. So we've done some great work historically over the last 8 or 9 years that I've been involved with this committee. I look forward to continuing that and addressing concerns that are brought to us not only by our constituents, but also by the financial institutions and doing what's right by the people that we represent. So congratulations to those who are newly elected and new to the committee. You'll see that we work well, we work efficiently, we get our work done, and then we move good things forward. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator. Duly noted that you can't show your bias for the banking committee. I know you have quite a few ranking member assignments this session, so we'll let you off the hook.
Thank you, sir.
One of the great things about this committee is that, like I said, we are lean and mean. So whereas on the appropriations of the Finance Committee, we probably don't have time in an organizational meeting to go down the line and introduce everybody. We do have time, I think, to do that here. So what I'd like to do next is to introduce our vice chairs and then the members of the committee. We'll start on the House side with Representative Farley Santos in his first term representing the Hat City of Danbury. And maybe he can tell us at some point what that is. And as we go around, especially for our newer members, I'd invite everyone to, if they wish, share any connection they may have to the banking community. how many terms they may have served on this committee, anything of that nature, their favorite bank in their district, if they wish to shout out anything like that. So if you're so inclined. Representative Santos.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone. I am a first-term legislator, and so this is going to be a great experience for me. I come with over 10 years of banking experience to the legislature and in my professional life, and I think that that could bring a different perspective to this committee as well. And I just look forward to working with every single one of you. You asked to mention my favorite bank. Well, my favorite bank would have to be Savings Bank of Danbury. That's exactly where I work. So of course they are the best bank in Danbury. But in all seriousness, I'm looking forward to working with everyone and as everyone has mentioned, putting forth legislation that can benefit our constituents and then also the banks in the Connecticut general area. So thank you.
Thank you, Representative Santos. Excited to have you here. Next, I believe I saw Senator Christine Cohen, our vice chair on the Senate side on Zoom. Senator Cohen, the esteemed co-chair of the Transportation Committee. Are you there?
I am. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm glad to be here serving my first term on the Banking Committee. I'm going into my 5th session, but I've never had the pleasure of being on the Banking Committee, and I look forward to being amidst all these new faces and committee veterans as we do the good work of the Banking Committee, and certainly working alongside my esteemed co-chairs, the esteemed chairs of the committee, as well as the ranking members and all the members of this committee to get some good work done. As far as favorite banks, gosh, I have a couple, and certainly love Guilford Savings Bank, which is throughout the 12th district in the state of Connecticut, a great local institution, as well as some great credit unions like Connect. So looking forward to getting to work for all the people of the state. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Senator Cohen. Yes, Guilford is a good one, state chartered institution. Happy to have you this session on the committee. Next to the membership, I see Representative Hoxa. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly.
Yes, you did, Representative Doucette. My name is State Representative Joe Hoxa, representing the great towns of Plymouth and a portion of Bristol. And although Mr. Santos may be right that the Savings Bank of Danbury is the best bank in Danbury, Thomaston Savings Bank is the best bank in Connecticut. I assure you of that. So I look forward to working with each and every one of you, despite our minor differences. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Anaskovich.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the best news is that asking about the best bank, my wife will be off my back because I'll say Liberty Bank because that's where she lives. So now I'll be in her saving graces for the rest of the term. Thank you again, and I look forward to working with everybody on the committee. Newly elected representative out of Clinton, Killingworth, and Westbrook of the 35th District. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Anaskovich. I am going to go down the line to my right and recognize Representative Foster.
Hi, everybody. Oops. Hi, everybody. I'm State Representative Jamie Foster. I represent Ellington, East Windsor, and now a small portion of Vernon. And I am very honored to be here on the Banking Committee. This is my first term serving on the Banking Committee, but I've been assured it's going to be one of my favorite in short order. We'll see about that. And I'm very excited. And I bank at Wells Fargo, but I'm very partial to my local town banks as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Foster. Yes, important to remember that our national federally chartered banks are also part of our banking community here in Connecticut. Next, I see Representative Al Palillo from the great city of New Haven. And Representative Palillo is a veteran of the Banking Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. Certainly an honor to be here and to serve on this committee. And before I just introduce myself, I wanted to thank the leadership, Representative Doucette and Senator Miller for their work, and obviously the ranking members from the House side, Representative Delnicki and Senator Berthel. It's been an honor for the last 2 terms to be part of this committee and to have folks from both sides of the aisle being able to work together for the folks that we represent every day, the financial institutions there that are providing the services. There is a lot of consistency on this committee and folks coming together. And certainly last term, there were many initiatives that were discussed at length that hopefully those will continue to protect folks and to make business more fluid in this state for both consumers and for businesses as well. But it's a joy to be part of this panel. As you mentioned, I do represent New Haven, my 4th term in the legislature and my 3rd term on this committee. And hopefully in the other side where the office doesn't see me as much these days or hasn't seen me as much over the last 6 years, I've been in financial services for probably the better part of the last 27 years, going on 28 years. So that life has been great, and certainly look forward to bringing some of that experience here as well. But thank you for the opportunity and look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you, Representative. Happy to have you back. Back to Zoom, Senator Huckadell. Hello, Senator Huckadell. Are you there?
Good morning. I am here. Thank you. I'm serving in my 1st term. I represent the good people of Meriden, Cheshire, Middletown, and Middlefield, and I'm really looking forward to working with everyone and learning about banking. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Huckadell. Okay, I must confess, I do not have my Zoom window open. I'm not sure if we have any, do we have any other members who are on Zoom? Any other members that are on Zoom?
Representative Baker has his hand raised.
Representative Baker.
Good morning.
Bridgeport.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Representative Andre Baker in the 124th District, which is a sliver of Bridgeport, and this is my 4th term on banking. It's a pleasure to be back and with my chairs and my co-chairs, and we can continue to do good work in banking. You asked the question about my favorite bank, and I must say my favorite banking is right now is M&T. I know there's been some bitter challenges, but the reason I like them because of the people that work there. I know a lot of the people that work in the bank. They're from Bridgeport and the surrounding areas. And although there's been a bit of challenges with this transition, we have, they have gone over and above to do the customer services, and I really appreciate the good work that they do, and they want to really have success. So, I must say that is one of my favorite banking.
Thank you, Representative Baker. Welcome back. I believe you are the senior, if not in age, then in seniority in your tenure on the Banking Committee, member of the committee. So we're happy to have you back. And yes, you mentioned a good point that banks, whether they're Connecticut banks, out-of-state banks, federally chartered banks, can play an important role in our communities, and especially when we experience, like you said, some of the growing pains or disruptions, that it's important that that this committee and others in the building have a role in seeing that through. So it's a good point, and again, happy to have you back with us. Anyone else on Zoom? Any other members on Zoom? I think I would recognize that we've had good attendance for our first organizational meeting. I know we may be missing a couple of members, maybe 1 or 2. Okay, all right, great. With that, I'd like to introduce our staff for the 2023 session. Again, we're going to go back and forth between Zoom and in person. Our clerk, our brand new clerk of the Banking Committee for this session is going to be Jeannie Phillips, who is a veteran of this building and is a veteran of clerk position, most recently on the Higher Education and Employment Advancement Committee. Jeannie, please say hello and introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. I'm just getting over laryngitis, so I'll just say hi.
Okay, thank you, Jeannie. Obviously, and for those of you who are new, the clerks play an important role and really run the show on our various committees. So be nice to them. They are an incredible resource, and we're fortunate to have someone like Jeannie with her experience as well. I do want to recognize our former clerk of the banking committee for a period of time, but also someone who has a tremendous amount of experience in this building, and that is Dawn Marzick. Dawn is here with us today. And oh, it's echoing. There it is. And Dawn is also going to be helping in a sort of, I guess we could call it, not unofficially, assistant clerk role as well with the committee. So Dawn, just you would say hi.
I would say hi, but we get an echo.
Okay. There you are. Okay. Next, I'd like to introduce our nonpartisan staff for this session. From the Legislative Commissioner's Office, I'd just like to recognize Patrick Deegan, who is here. You can just say hello.
Nice to meet everybody in person this year. Look forward to working with you all. And yeah, it should be a great session.
Great. Thank you, Pat. Now, Pat was with us last session, but which was actually his first, I believe, in the building. So we broke him in and ready to hit the ground running this year. And LCO obviously plays a very important role for those of you who are new on all of our committees. So also please be nice to them as well, especially as we get going towards our deadlines here. And as the session really heats up, they are some of the busiest people in the building, and we're certainly indebted to them for the work that they do to help this place run.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
What role do they play?
The Legislative Commissioner's Office. Well, they play the important role of basically drafting all of the legislation that we will have before us when at our next meeting we start to raise concepts or make the determination to draft the concepts into committee bills. That is their charge to actually draft those bills and to revise those bills as they go through the committee process, any amendments and so forth. They also help keep us on track with following our rules, the joint rules and House and Senate rules as we move forward. So thank you, Madam Chair. Next, I'd like to recognize our from the Office of Legislative Research, George Miles and Kristen Miller, who will be covering the Banking Committee. If you guys are on and would just like to say hello. Just so we
Sure, Representative Doucette. This is Kristen Miller. I'm in Zoom land. I staff both the Banking and Environment Committees for OLR, and I've been working in OLR since 2010. I am just very much looking forward to working with all of you this year.
Thank you, Kristen.
Good
And
morning.
then
Yep, sorry.
George.
Sorry, Rep, yeah, sorry, Rep Doucette. I'm also on Zoom. George Miles, OLR. This is going to be my 6th session on committee, and look forward to working with everyone.
Thank you, George. Okay, and we do have coverage as well from the Office of Fiscal Analysis, OFA. I'm not sure if they are in the room. Yes.
Yep, Ryan Proto, Office of Fiscal Analysis. Looking forward to working with everyone.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, and of course, we do have caucus staff who help us out, and I hope we'll have a time to meet and get acquainted with those folks. So I think that is pretty much it for today. Our next meeting is not yet scheduled, but I would expect it to be next week at this point. We are B committee. We'll meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I think this has gone well. Certainly being in person is is part of the experience typically, although we now have the advantage of having the ability to zoom in. I happen to live about 13 minutes away from Legislative Office Building, so I will probably plan to be here, but certainly it is perfectly fine to utilize Zoom as we all have busy schedules and multiple places to be. So I expect we'll get to see a little of both as we move forward. So I believe that's it for today. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.